So today was a bit of a hard day because I accidentally read the news. I don't really read the news, but yeah, hate me for that. But sometimes they just pop up on my feed on Instagram, and then I see all kind of horrible stuff that is written about in which state this world is right now, what people are doing to each other, and climate change, war, so much that is out of our control, but is making us feeling so hopeless about the future, about our current life, that what's the point? What really is the point of doing anything when, yeah, this is where we are? So hi, my name is Elise, and this is my channel 7 Feet Above. And in today's video, I'm going to talk about whether you should create or not in this climate, in today's climate, or how could we put the state, our state of being, where the state of our world today, should we create or not? If you're an artist, creator, or a creative person who's thinking about creating, this video is for you. I often question myself this too, or question myself like whether should I make music or not? What's the point in making anything? And often I feel that the themes I'm singing about are quite shallow, or that am I just being a dork? I once remember I was at a residency and then I sang one of my songs, and then one guy came up to me and asked, "So you're hopeful about the future, I see." And I was like, yeah, kind of. I do. I have a choice to either be or not. And that's what I'm spreading, this message I'm spreading in my music. But sometimes it feels just naive, you know, that I'm spreading a message like this because it really doesn't feel like the world is around us is mirroring that back. But what I can only say is that where we are right now is everything we know. Because what is our job is to see the things that are out of our control and what is in our control. And what is out of our control is very much the state of the world. We can't really control it. And that's the most frustrating and horrible part of it. But we really can't. In this moment, we still don't really know what's going to happen. We only know what is happening in this moment. And that's why I'm saying, if you are safe, especially if you have time, if you have some leisure time in your life, how are you using it? What are you doing with the time when you're not doing anything? Are you scrolling on your phone? Are you indulging yourself in gossips, your addictions? What are you doing? And are you complaining about the current circumstances, whether in your own life or in the world? If you're doing one of these things that I mentioned, or all of them, but still complaining that you're not happy with your life or the life around you, and you're justifying that with that the world is gonna destroy itself, or humans are gonna destroy themselves anyway, so what's the point? And I fall into this trap quite often myself, because for some reason I feel that it's shallow for me to go after my dreams when there's so much suffering in this world. That why am I worthy of creating what I want to create in my world when other people don't have the chance? But if we would start to look at from the lens that, how would it be better then that I would completely lose it and get stagnant and bitter and sad and indulge in addictions or in bad things that is not gonna raise my awareness. It's gonna do the opposite to me. How is that better? How would that be better? That I would go to a 9-to-5 job and hate my life? How would that make a better world? Instead of me doing something that I love and that I think that could even have a positive impact or make a difference somehow, that the things you talk about in your art, what you create, that it could make a difference in this world. Instead of being a slave to your circumstances, allowing myself to do what my soul really is craving for, it made me to become a better person. Not only to myself, also people around me. Because when you are not feeling good internally, the likelihood that you will hurt other people around you is much higher. We have only seen people who are bitter and grumpy and how they are behaving towards other people just because they are justifying how they are feeling internally, that they can be assholes to other people, to random people on the street, just because they are not feeling fulfilled or good in their life, or they are bitter because they saw their life just running away from them before they could even catch it, because they never tried. So if you are a creator, whether thinking, should you stop creating because of the state of the world or whatever, no. That's your call to create even more. When you have the possibility to do that, do it. You owe that to this world. You owe it, especially if you think what you create could serve other people. Because in the end, we have to accept the things we can't change and then take responsibility over the things we can. And sorry to say this, but the only thing we really can change is ourselves. We can't change anything else. And some wise person once said, I don't know now who, but be the change you want to see. So be the change you want to see in this world. If you want to have more peace in this world, if you want to have more love in this world, what can you do to create more love and peace around you? But that starts with you being more peaceful, you loving more. And that for sure starts with you loving yourself more, being on peace with yourself more. And then you can share it to other people. But it's hard to stay on that track because there are so many things in this world, in our private life, that is trying to throw us away from our own center. That makes us question everything. Our value, whether things will work out or not. So if you want to create, or you are a creator and you're thinking if you should or not, do it. Just continue. You owe that to yourself and the world. If you have a possibility to do so and you have a desire inside of you, do it. Stop telling yourself that you can't because whatever is happening, whatever, that you're not happy with the circumstances in your life, you're not happy with what is happening in the world. Yeah, but start with the thing you really can change. Because often when we see what we want in our life is so far away, because we have these enormous thoughts of how it should be, what it should look like, and then we see just a big pile of work in order to get there. And then we don't even start. We give up. But every single success story, if we want to put it this way, it starts with small steps. You can't start thinking big if you're thinking small. Then you have to start thinking small. And from there you can accumulate. And I can only use myself as an example. I used to be very much a slave of my circumstances. I thought that I'm not good enough, I'm not talented enough, I'm not smart enough, pretty enough, whatever, all kind of things that really didn't matter. I was telling myself, and I was not being a happy person. I was not on peace with myself. I was indulging in self-harm, like addictions, different kind of addictions, gossiping. And because I was not being good to myself, I wasn't being good to other people either. Even though I thought that my morals were high and I was a good person, no, I wasn't, because I was really not very self-aware. But after then, like 4 years ago, I had a spiritual awakening, or soon 4 years ago, but then I really started to question, why am I doing all these things to myself? And I started to see my own part in my life, how I was thinking, how much it impacted where I was in my current situation, how much the negative things I was telling myself and coming up with excuses and justifying was creating also my reality, which was not how I wanted it to be. But because I was just damping this burning desire I had inside of me that was telling me that you want to create, you want to make music, but I was just saying, no, that is not for me. That's not for me. I'm not good enough. That's for others. The bigger that fire became and harder it became to control it, and it started to spit out fire in every direction, and it was creating harm. It was creating chaos. It came out as bursts of anger, resentment, bitterness. And I was putting that on other people a lot in different ways, and also harming myself with having addictions. After this spiritual awakening, when I started to see my part in that and taking some responsibility, and also understanding that I need to have some discipline over myself in order to create a better life for myself, I started to take those steps. And I started proving myself that I can actually do the things that I thought I couldn't do. Or there was a knowing inside me that I can, but then I was scared, of course, to go after that, because I didn't want people to see me fail or whatever, or the fear of being seen, all these kind of limiting thoughts and beliefs. But when I started to take those steps towards the things I wanted, I started to see that they are paying off. And the more I did, the more they paid off. Not necessarily always the way I wanted or as quickly as I wanted, because it's all a process. But it started to really make sense to me that, okay, if I do what I'm supposed to do, it's going to start also mirroring back that to me in my life. And soon I had a lot of new connections. And then I was moving to another country. My life just changed completely from where it was. Completely. Then after making music for some time, really occupying my life with that, it started to make me feel so fulfilled and good internally that bad habits started to fall out of my life. Not immediately, but step by step. And I also started to create other new good habits in my life that really have had a massive impact on my mental health, my physical, spiritual well-being, everything. So when we start doing something good for ourselves, then it starts to accumulate. And the compound effect of one good thing is then creating more. It starts to expand. From creating something good for ourselves, it starts to expand, and then it also starts creating good things to other people. And now, after 3 years of really starting to go after the things I wanted my whole life, I can say that I'm free from my addictions. I'm clean. And I didn't think that was possible. I really did not. But at least on this plane in my life, I'm free. Now I'm freer than I was 3 years ago in so many ways. And because of that, I'm also a much better human being to other people. Because I'm capable of being honest to myself. And that's how I can also be honest to other people, because I'm living my own truth. I'm living my truth. And that makes me truthful to others. That's how easy it is. If we are arguing that what's the use of doing anything good? Yeah, well, what else should I do then? Should I create more suffering in this world? I don't think so. So if you're thinking about whether creating or not, please start doing it. You're gonna make yourself a favor and even other people a favor. Who knows? Maybe your art or what you have to say is gonna touch many people. Even touching one person, even helping one person, you're making a difference in this world. Because easily we fall into a trap to think that what we have to say, what we are creating, that it could not possibly have any sort of impact on anyone, that we think so little about ourselves, or then we think too big about ourselves, that what I came here to do has to be this, or otherwise I'm not gonna do it. So get yourself down from that pedestal, or get yourself down from that hole and start doing. Start doing the things you came here to do. You know it inside of you. You really know it. Or if you don't know, you still might have some idea of what might make your life better, what might make you happier and more peaceful inside of you. You might have an idea what is stopping you from being that. Because I can only talk from myself that when I gave myself the permission to start making music, that I was not just comparing myself to others and telling myself that you don't got it what other people have. Can only say that it made me more courageous in so many ways, and to speak up for myself and also speak up for other people. And I'm not thinking only about what I can get, I'm also thinking what I can give. Because I also noticed how important that is, that I wouldn't be where I am right now if I didn't have some amazing people around me that's been helping me to get where I want. So always stay humble and also think what you can bring to the table. Thank you so much for taking your time and watching. I hope this video was inspiring and that you are going to continue or start creating.